Dr. Bloomer, how do supplements fit into an overall hierarchy of an approach for optimal health in your lifestyle?
Well, in my opinion, as an exercise physiologist, an exercise scientist with a strong background in nutrition and doing research with supplements, personally I feel as though people need to focus, first, in terms of overall health, they need to focus first on the exercise and physical activity component. So people need to be as physically active as they can be, given their lifestyle and whatever limitations they may have. And within the physical activity component, they need to perform regular structured exercise. And that hopefully will involve both aerobic exercise or cardiorespiratory exercise, as well as resistance exercise, i.e. weight training exercise, and preferably flexibility exercise or stretching exercise. And that should be done depending on the individual on most days of the week. So 3 to 5 days per week I think would be ideal.
To do this every day.
Well, depending on, again, the individual schedule, if they could perform aerobic exercise 3 to 5 days a week for 30 plus minutes per day, I think that would be great. If they can perform resistance exercise 2 to 3 days per week for, again, 30 to 40 minutes, depending on what their level of fitness is, I think that would be great. And then flexibility exercise may follow that for 10 or 15 minutes as a, quote, cool down activity. In my opinion, that would be ideal in terms of structured exercise. When we move to nutrition, ideally, I believe individuals should consume, and this is supported by a large body of evidence. Of course, you'll have other individuals that have their take on it. This is simply my opinion. I would suggest individuals consume multiple, frequent, small feedings throughout the day, i.e. 5 to 7 smaller meals throughout the day. Each of those meals hopefully should be macronutrient balanced in terms of protein, carbohydrate, and fat. Each of those meals should hopefully have good quality protein, lean meats, chicken, fish, lean red meat on occasion I think is just fine. Egg whites, cottage cheese, those sort of things from a protein source, or perhaps a protein powder if they wanted to use that. From a carbohydrate source, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, brown rice, barley, oats, etc. And from a dietary fat source, hopefully the good healthy fats, the omega-3, omega-6 fatty acids, the nuts, the seeds, the natural peanut butters and nut butters, the avocado, olive oil, flaxseed oil, borage oil, those sort of things from a fat point of view. Everything mixed within each of the meals, spread evenly throughout the day in such a way that the person is never starving throughout the day. Because when you're hungry, you don't really have the mindset to make the appropriate choices. You're going for instant gratification. Whatever's there, you're going to eat it, and you're probably going to eat more of it than you would if you had eaten those several smaller meals throughout the day.
Well, that sounds so disciplined. I see people wanting to supplement instead of doing that. And can that happen? Can that help?
Yeah, and that's a good point, and you're right. It requires a significant amount of planning and discipline. And we both know, I think, and would agree that discipline is severely lacking in our world today, whether it be related to exercise or diet or...
But we're pleasure-seeking, pain-avoidant creatures,
I mean, the supplements will help, but in my personal view, I think if people would adopt the physical activity and exercise approach, the dietary approach, similar to what I just described, that's likely going to account for 95+% of their overall health and physique success. I really strongly believe that. The dietary supplements, aside from things like meal replacement powders, which they have some really good ones on the market today, some protein powders that you may mix into a blender drink with fresh fruit, with oats, with flaxseed oil that could comprise one of those 5 to 7 meals. That's a bit different because those are macronutrients. I'm talking now the micro nutrients, the trace nutrients that you see within the dietary supplement category. I think some of those will help, but they will help the individual to a minor extent relative to the exercise and the nutrition.
But the combination of the two sounds golden.
The combination of everything, I think, is ideal, because there's some really good science on some nutritional supplements these days, whether we're talking about CoQ10 or resveratrol or some of the other really interesting compounds.
Right.
Some of these things I do believe will provide benefit to the individual on a case-by-case basis, because we know supplementation is highly individual. Some individuals will respond really well to certain things, other individuals won't really see much of any benefit with the same supplement, the same dose. But most individuals, if not all individuals, will see a benefit if they would adopt the lifestyle approach of regular physical activity, exercise, dietary intake. It's so, so important, and I wish people would understand that. And then once you do all those things, my view is you use supplementation more or less as a reward to yourself. I've been successful and disciplined in doing all these things. Now I'm going to reward myself by using this supplement or these supplements to push myself a little bit further.
And enhance the overall effect.
Right. Because I do think the supplements can enhance the overall effect of the other two, but individuals that eat one large meal per day and don't exercise regularly and smoke 1 to 2 packs of cigarettes per day, but yet use 10 different dietary supplements, I don't believe those individuals will ever achieve the sort of success in terms of physique and health that an individual would if they would adopt the other approach.
So you're saying be realistic.
Let's be realistic. That's correct. Sure.
Thank you, Dr. Bloomer.
You're welcome.